The days are longer, the calendar is filling up, and I want to feel as good as this beautiful summer weather. That's why I've been loving Groons. It's one daily pack of gummies that covers my greens, vitamins, and minerals, and even has 6 grams of prebiotic fiber, so I don't need to juggle a complicated wellness routine on top of everything else. They taste amazing. They're easy to toss in my bag on the go. Plus, they're vegan, gluten-free, and HSA, FSA eligible for reimbursement. Save up to 52% off with promo code podcast at gruns.co. That's code podcast at gruns.co.
It's the Go Gopher podcast with Mike Grimm, episode number 49. I am Mike Grimm, voice of the Golden Gophers, and welcome back to our podcast. We're talking Golden Gopher football again this week as Minnesota gets ready to play Syracuse in the Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium in roughly 2 weeks. The pride of St. Cloud, Minnesota, Brevyn Spann-Ford is my podcast guest this week, and I promise you're going to enjoy the conversation. The star Gopher tight end's excited to be playing Gopher football in Yankee Stadium. From football to basketball to what it means to be from Minnesota, all of that with Brevyn Spann-Ford on the Go Gopher podcast with Mike Grimm, episode number 49. As always, our Go Gopher podcast is presented by alumni-owned Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. If you're a business founder planning to exit your business, start by contacting Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. Sunbelt serves more businesses up to $5 million in revenue than anyone, and True North M&A serves companies with revenues up to $150 million. Get a confidential, no-cost, no-obligation business valuation started today. Make the most of your life's work. Visit sunbeltminnesota.com or tnma.com today. I'm so happy to have the podcast associated with these great folks at True North and appreciate their commitment to our show. The Go Gopher podcast with Mike Grimm is also partnered with Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union. Like the Gophers, Affinity Plus is fundamentally sound with preparation, focus, and follow-through. Affinity Plus, a local Minnesota credit union providing all your banking needs, including a top-ranked mobile app. And talk about community involvement, they've got it. They have all kinds of great work with Special Olympics Minnesota, as well as being top supporters of Gopher athletics. Visit their webpage, affinityplus.org/Go Gophers. They sponsor our player profile segment within the podcast, and it's coming up with tight end Brevyn Spann-Ford. Our podcast is also sponsored by State Farm agent Tony Hoagland at ChamplinInsurance.com. I know Tony's looking forward to that Pinstripe Bowl. I invite you to subscribe to the podcast. It's free to click the subscribe button and free to listen at any time. You can also go back to listen to our previous podcast, including last week's show. We talked with current Gopher Clay Geary and former Gopher Ben Utek, and we talked about so much, including the importance of building a culture within any organization. Have a listen. I know you'll enjoy it. This week, we're talking Gopher football once again. It's the Go Gopher podcast, episode 49. My conversation with Brevyn Spann-Ford is next.
I'm Clay Geary, walk-on turned scholarship wide receiver for Gopher football.
And I'm Ben Utek, U of M alumni, Super Bowl champion, and Tony Dungy Uncommon Award winner.
We understand championship culture, which is why we're part of the True North family of companies.
True North invests in only elite teams, like the champion team at Sunbelt Business Advisors, Minnesota's largest seller of companies. To learn more about True North and our diverse family of independently owned companies, visit TrueNorthEquityPartners.com.
Hey Gopher fans, this is your State Farm agent Tony Hoagland. We are super excited to be part of the new Mike Grimm Show on Talk North. For the year of 2022, we will be donating $10 to the University of Minnesota Children's Masonics Hospital for everyone that calls our office or checks in with us online and mentions that they heard about us on Talk North and the Mike Grimm Show. We are really excited again that Mike came on board with Talk North. You can reach us at 763-421-4900. You can find us on the web at ChamplinInsurance.com. Again, 763-421-4900, or find us on the web at ChamplinInsurance.com. Roll the boat, Sky Yuma, go Gophers.
It's episode number 49, the Go Gopher podcast, and we're thrilled you're with us because we have one of the star football players of the Golden Gophers, Brevyn Spann-Ford. In the intro, I called you the pride of St. Cloud, Minnesota. Good to see you.
Appreciate you for having me.
We appreciate you spending some time with us here. You and your teammates are in the middle now of bowl prep, roughly 2 weeks away from kickoff at Yankee Stadium. How excited are you to be playing on the field that Aaron Judge made famous, right?
Yeah, it's really cool. It's kind of ironic also. We've been following the Derek Jeter documentary all year. So, it's kind of one of those things Fleck likes to say, coincidence, Mo? And Mo will give him I think not. So it's been really cool. Great season. It's just been a blast being with those guys every day.
As you watched was it the Captain? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
The Jeter stuff. What did you learn from that, take from that? And it is kind of cool that you're playing at Yankee Stadium. And, of course, Jeter played at the old Yankee Stadium, too. But, he was on this turf that you guys will be on.
Yeah, it's a really cool documentary. We got to watch clips as a team, but I've watched some of it in my free time. And just hearing Derek Jeter's perspective on success and really tying everything back to the culture that we have within our building is really cool, because one thing with Derek Jeter is he was always pushing himself. He never thought that he was the greatest player ever. He always found ways to get better and always found ways to make his teammates better. So I think it was a very interesting take and a cool experience just hearing what he had to say on his journey.
I watched a little of that, maybe the first handful of episodes, and what stood out to me was he was the first pick. He was, the captain before he was the captain, but he almost didn't make it. I mean, I forgot. I mean, he was teetering on maybe getting released. Like he was hitting like $180. Yeah. And then it started to click. And then, the rest is history. And I suppose there's a lesson to be learned in that.
Yeah, definitely. I think in one of his first seasons in the minors, he had 30-some errors, which is unheard of in baseball. So just like seeing him come from that to the Derek Jeter that we all know is truly legendary.
Yeah. And of course, you served as team captain many times this year, so I'll put the captain label on you. And I look at your career, you had like one catch in year one, right? And you came in as a highly touted guy, the top recruit in the state of Minnesota. And that I'm not saying that to suggest you were struggling, but you have to pay your dues. You have guys ahead of you and all that stuff. And then you're learning how to block, because I'm sure as a guy, when you first start coming in, you're like, I'd rather catch a pass than try to put something on somebody. And now you've evolved into, as I mentioned, team captain, leading receiver on the team this year in terms of all of them, receivers included in terms of catches, and you're scoring touchdowns and all that stuff. So not that I'm saying you're Derek Jeter, but there is, sometimes you do have to, I don't know if struggle's the right word, but you have to pay your dues, and maybe you'd love it to come quicker, but sometimes patience pays off.
Yeah, 100%. That's I give complete credit to the coaching staff and the teammates around me, because without them showing up every day, I wouldn't be able to grow as much as I did. And one thing that Coach Fleck likes to talk about is the difference between successful people are the ones that don't quit. Just sticking through whatever tough times you're having. It may feel like the world is falling on you, but you just got to stick through it and just keep being yourself. At the end of the day.
Just to kind of pick yourself up, even proverbial, let's say, you might feel like, man, that's a knockout punch. I should be playing, or I feel like I want to play, and your teammates are working hard too so they can play. How hard at times it was that early to say, all right, I just got to bite my tongue, bite my lip, and know my time is going to come.
Yeah, it's definitely a hard thing, and that's something I like to make sure that all the young guys on our team know. Like, no matter how bad it is, your time is coming. Just keep working, keep being yourself. It all starts in the weight room, getting stronger and things like that. And then in the film room, learning the game, it all comes full circle, and it goes by fast. So, yeah.
Well, and in your case, as we mentioned, you developed into this tremendous pass catcher and also a tremendous blocker now, which I think that is something you really worked on, and maybe have gone from when you were young, like, oh, man, I got to block. It's going to be a handoff to, all right, who do I get to try to pound into a pancake here, right?
Yeah. That's definitely something that was instilled in me by the older guys when I was younger. Cole, Bryce Witham, Jake Paulson, those guys. They really just taught me a lot of valuable lessons within the game that, sometimes you have to do the dirty work for your team. Sometimes you're going to have to sacrifice catches for blocks, and eventually down the road, you'll have to sacrifice some blocks for catches, like it's going to become full circle. So just always be ready for your moment.
I would think too, as part of it, knowing when you block, and certainly there
are plays that they're like I watch, and then you see tendencies, and when you got a guy like Ibrahim back there, you know that he's going to get his carries where you come in motion on the one play, and it's just like I can tell, and if the radio guy can tell, I'm sure they know. You're going to come down and either take the end or the safety or the backer out, and Mo's going to find a hole. And I think there's got to be something satisfying with that to know you know what's coming, they know what's coming. They're trying to stop it, and Mo gets 8 yards or 12 yards or pops one for 40 and what have you. Just to block one for him, but two to know what's coming and to still be able to accomplish what you want.
Yeah, I've been extremely blessed to be able to block for some of the best running backs that have been through here. Rodney, Shannon, Bryce, Trey, Mo, all those guys. I'll do anything for them, and I think that's also a big part of it too. It's a lot easier when you're blocking for your brother. You want them to be successful, and you want the team to be successful. So just giving my all, whether that's in the classroom, film room, every area, just to make sure you're giving your best on game days.
What was it like, aside from the outcome? You wanted to win that Iowa game, but to see Mo go through one of the best defenses in the country, 263 yards. I mean, obviously the game was there for the taking. Let's put that part of it aside, but just to be able to impose your will and see him go, what was that day like from that standpoint of it?
Yeah, it was one of those games that just it really felt surreal because obviously you want to pull it out at the end, but we really put it all on the field that game, and I was incredibly proud of our team, incredibly proud of Mo. But even like Mo would say if he was in here right now, he gives full credit to the team, and that's what's important to him, and that's what's important to me.
Yeah, what's it like being Mo Ibrahim's teammate? What's he meant to this team and to you?
He's really meant a lot to me. I'll do anything for the guy, and I think it goes way past football. Like when I'm old one day, I'll be looking back on who Mo Ibrahim was as a person, not as a player, because he is half the player he is a person, because he's a great dude.
Yeah, Hall of Fame player and a Hall of Fame person, no question. You mentioned Keeft and some of those other tight ends who you learned it from, and I think I'm going to have to give credit. I think Andy Greeter had the story on that with you two guys that early in your career you always didn't see eye to eye, right? And then you kind of grew into this partnership, so to speak, where you guys are now in touch and good buddies, right?
Yeah, we definitely butted heads a little bit, but I love Ko. He's like a big brother to me. He'll always tell me what I need to hear, not what I want to hear, and that's something I really love about him. And he's always got my back, and I always got his.
What was it early that you guys couldn't mesh, and then how did it evolve?
He really thought I was a pretty boy. So you can imagine how that went.
Yeah. So he was trying to make a point.
Yeah.
And you probably weren't really that receptive to his point.
Yeah, he made it eventually though.
and then it got through to you. And then not that you changed as a person, but do you think it changed you as a football player a little bit?
Yeah,
for
definitely.
the better?
It changed my mentality for sure. He just really instilled that mentality within our whole room and gave us that persona as we're the baddest dudes on the field. So every time I'm putting the pads on, I'm thinking about that. Like, just go be the baddest dude on the field, no matter what you're doing, running, blocking, special teams, all that.
He caught a touchdown pass. Now I think he has two from Tom Brady. How cool is that?
That is one of the, like, whenever I because it'll be on a Sunday, so we'll be at the facility and I'll see like he caught a pass, he caught a touchdown. It's just like, he caught a touchdown from Tom Brady. Like, that's so amazing. Like, it's just like you can't help but smile when you say that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are always busy players, right? And he's got his deal, you've got your deal, and you got everything. But do you pop text back and forth on occasion or stay in touch with him some?
Yeah, definitely. I was just actually on FaceTime with him last week. He's talking about my upcoming decision and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's always good just hearing his opinion and stuff like that.
How's the timeline on that going? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna have an answer for y'all soon.
Yeah, I'm not trying to pry the answer. I'm just more wondering when we'll know.
Yeah, no, definitely like within the next couple weeks.
What are the factors, again, without knowing, and maybe you still aren't sure, what are the factors you're kind of weighing on both sides? Because I'm sure it's a lifelong dream. You got a chance to play pro football.
Yeah.
And then you've got a program here that you love.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors, but at the end of the day, I'm just going off of all the opinions I've gathered, along with what I've prayed on and what I've spoken to my family about. Just making the best decision for my future and for my family's future.
So a lot of information gathering, I think, just to make an educated choice on what's best.
Yeah, the important thing for me is just making sure that whatever I decide, I'm 100% all in on it. No regrets with anything. So, yeah.
How's bowl prep going right now? You guys aren't practicing every day, but you're getting ready for the Syracuse Orange.
Yeah, it's been great. We've been getting into our Syracuse film study and getting out there on the practice field. You know, it's always a weird time of year, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we were just talking, a couple of different things. We were talking, we set the schedule around the Board of Regents meeting. Today, as we're taping, it's a Thursday taping because you went to the Board of Regents meeting and you and I think Tanner and some other guys were there and you got to show them Paul Bunyan's axe. How cool was that?
Yeah, it was super cool. I think that being a student here, you don't really necessarily know all about like the Board of Regents and stuff like that.
Right.
But like it was an extremely cool experience. It was definitely an honor to get to, go represent our team and be represented our school. It's a tremendous honor.
Did you have to pose for some pictures with some of the board members with the axe?
Yeah, we posed for some pictures, got to talk to them, so it was cool. They got to take a little break from their meetings, so glad we could spend it with them.
I'm sure if we log onto some social media from some of those, they're probably posting some of those pictures as we speak. But in the Board of Regents, not to get too much into it, but they oversee, of course, the whole university. But the part that's part of it is the relationship that they have with the athletic department, right? They want the Gophers to be good as well, but yet they also have to oversee to make sure things are headed in the right direction and done the right way. And I'm sure that things like this help with, hey, look, we got the axe. Things are going well here.
Yeah, definitely. They do an incredible job taking care of us. So extremely thankful for Joan Gable and Mark Coyle. They love us unconditionally. No matter what that scoreboard says, we know that they're going to be in the locker room supporting us every single week.
All right, so we have that. You had that with the Board of Regents. Finals we're as we tape this in the middle of kind of that session of finals. Last night there was Gopher basketball, and Braden Carrington, the freshman, reigning Mr. Basketball in Minnesota. He had 20 points. It was a great night for him, and I asked him how his finals were going, and he said he had actually finished them already. So that was good news for a freshman to be done, right?
Yeah.
And then I asked you, and you said you're in grad school, so you don't have a lot going on right this particular week, so that's got to be a relief too.
Yeah, definitely. I just had a couple projects this past week and finished up classes on Tuesday. So
tell us, let's go down this road for a minute. Tell us so you're in a master's program now, what you're pursuing from that standpoint, and then your undergraduate work, what was that involved with?
Yeah, so for my undergrad, I got a sports management, and then for my graduate program, I'm doing youth development and leadership. My dream is a big dream of mine has always been just to give back to my community and to help kids that look like me, grew up like me, things like that. So my dream is to start a youth sports program and be able to kind of get that on the ground running. And along with that, I would like to, within the next couple of years, I want to start a nonprofit.
It's awesome. It's amazing. You remind me a little Daryl Thompson, who was my partner, all-time leading rusher, at least for maybe one more game with the Gophers.
One more game. I love DT, but one more game.
One more game. But he's from Rochester. You're from St. Cloud, north, south, whatever. And then he came in, made his impact as a player, and now for almost 30 years, he has been the leader of Boulder Options. And I know the football team has gone over to the headquarters, and they mentor young people, and oftentimes those are young African American people or people of color, and sometimes it involves sports, sometimes it just involves other things. So a little bit like that, where Daryl's had, he was a great Gopher, but he's probably had more impact on the state of Minnesota through, creating, hope for young kids who might be at risk.
Yeah, definitely. Daryl is a great friend of our program. Like, he's one of the coolest alumni. A crazy thing is actually, obviously True was here for a while,
right?
But I remember playing youth basketball against Race like every single year. He was a headache.
Yeah.
But they're a great family, and Daryl does so much for our team.
Yeah, he's great. And the reason I brought it up was that as you work through hopefully a long, successful pro career, as Daryl did with the Packers, and then you can come back and kind of get on track some of the stuff what he's done, and and have that same kind of impact. I think,
definitely.
Right? I mean, be great. No doubt about it. All right, so let's get back to football here. What do you know about Syracuse? You said you're starting to look a little bit at what they bring and some film study, and we're about 2 weeks out, so it's probably not a deep dive yet. Maybe it is. I don't know. But what do you know about them?
Yeah, so their defense is very multiple, but they have a lot of guys that can play all over the place, and they're very fast and physical. So I really look forward to playing against them. I'm ready for the challenge that they present, and we're just going to keep working and focus on our game plan. Yeah,
and part of it too, I would think, because at this point, between guys who may or may not play in bowl games, and I know Syracuse is going through some turmoil, maybe not the right word, chaos, because they're losing some coordinators, and they've got a couple guys who might not play. And so from that standpoint, it almost, I suppose at this point, is take care of your own stuff here and make sure you guys are ready to play, right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, the team that's going to win is going to execute their game plan better. So,
yeah, no doubt about it. How excited are you to be in New York? I suppose on one hand, if you could, hey, let's go to Tampa or to California or to someplace nice and warm. New York City's not going to be all that warm, but over the holidays, and it's such a city that has a life of its own. What do you think?
Yeah, this is Christmas time is my favorite time of year. So I mean, New York, I've never been there before, so I'm very excited.
You've never been to New York?
No.
Wow, so this is a first trip for you.
Yeah, I definitely want to visit some places I've seen in like Home Alone and stuff like that.
That's right. Everyone's got their own fun point of reference as to what New York, what you think, and yours is Home Alone over the holidays.
I love Home Alone.
It's a great show, no question. It's my understanding that you guys are going to fly out on Christmas Day, and then is it that night you get to go to a Rockettes show, I think?
Yeah, I think so. And then one of the days we're going to, I think, a Rangers game. So pretty exciting to go to Madison Square Garden. That'll be really cool.
That's right. Rangers and Capitals, I think, are playing at Madison Square Garden. So I've been able to do a few basketball games over the years. The Gophers have been in a couple of preseason tournaments there, and then the NIT a handful of times. Gophers won it one year out there, and it's interesting because you get into that building and you look around and it's just a basketball arena.
Yeah.
But then the ball goes up and there is a little bit of a different mystique to it. There's no doubt.
The mecca of basketball.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. No doubt. The world's most famous arena. No doubt about that. I think they also are going to take you to Ground Zero and some other places, some historical sites. So, and you've been to bowl games before. That's got to be one of the great things as a football player. You get to, experience some things that if you weren't involved with the team, you wouldn't get to do.
Yeah, I think it's cool because it's kind of an opposite end of the spectrum compared to Arizona last year. We were kind of, out of the way a little bit. We weren't even in like downtown Phoenix necessarily. We were just kind of out of the way.
Beautiful spot.
Yeah, beautiful. Oh, no complaints at all.
But way out there.
Yeah. But then New York now, we're just going to be in the heart of the city.
You're in Midtown, baby.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for the experience.
I was actually just looking at a map this morning. I think the team hotel is maybe about 5 to 6 blocks from Times Square and not too far from Central Park. And yeah, I don't know where the Home Alone where that store was where she finally figured out that she had forgotten.
Yeah.
But it should be a cool thing, and I'm sure you guys will have some fun and find some things to do and walk around the big city. And that's kind of what the bowl games are about. Obviously, it's a business trip, but and I think Coach Fleck's been good about this over the years, is to also make it an experience that you and your buddies and teammates will be talking about for a long time.
Yeah, that's something I really admire about Coach Fleck. When it's time to work, it's time to work. But he's going to make sure that we're also going to get a top-notch experience here at the U, and that sets people up for life. Like his goal for us is to always leave with life experiences, not just football. So I really commend him for that.
And he has put together a lot of different things over your time here in terms of concerts and events to go to. Do you have any that stand out to you that were like tops on the list, or a couple?
I would say the Kendrick Lamar concert this year was super cool. Me personally, I always like going to like the Vikings games and stuff like that. I love going to their stadium. Super cool experience. And then I would say the State Fair is always really fun. Just get to be around all the fans and get to go check out Coach Tuck at the news stations, get some good food. That's always a fun one.
I love the State Fair too, and you guys were wearing the gold shirt, so you're easy last year, this past year to see where you guys were all going. I happened to be out there that day too. I wasn't with the team per se, but I'm like, oh, there's Cole Kramer. I saw him. Oh, there's Brevyn Spann-Ford. Okay, yeah, the guys are here today. Were you a Vikings? Are you a Vikings fan growing up in Minnesota?
Yeah.
So that's probably part of why, right? You want
most definitely.
Like the Vikings. I know in years past the Gophers have always taken the axe to one of the Vikings games. Has that happened yet?
Yeah, I don't think we have this year, but I went last year.
Yeah, it was great last year. So we got to get that on the schedule this year.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, they're winding the season down, but that's always cool. They play the Rouser, and you guys are up on the big screen. I think maybe Blaze was with you last year with a couple.
I think it was me, Phil Howard, Blaze, Big O. Who else was Boye was there too.
Yeah, and Big O, of course, now on the Vikings.
Yeah,
he had a big tackle last week in that game. That was great.
He chased that screen down.
You guys probably went against each other a few times over the years, right?
Yeah, definitely. Him and Boye.
And Boye's getting things done in Seattle as well. Let's get to know you a little bit better. I want to talk about Affinity Plus real quickly. Then we're going to find out a little bit more about Brevyn Spann-Ford. Affinity Plus sponsors our podcast. They're your local credit union, proudly serving Minnesota since 1930. If you're a current Gopher student or a proud Gopher alum, that makes you eligible to join a financial that wants to build a meaningful banking relationship and put you first. You can meet with a local employee at any of their branches statewide, including one just down the street here from campus in Minneapolis. You can learn more and find out other ways to connect by going to affinityplus.org/GoGophers. That's affinityplus.org/GoGophers. Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. They sponsor our player profile segment here, and as part of their way to help support Gopher student athletes and through the name, image, and likeness stuff, they've been nice about our podcast. And Brevyn today, for his appearance, gets a $100 gift card. So enjoy that someplace, Brevyn.
Appreciate it.
All right, let's find out about you. St. Cloud, Minnesota. We started the interview session here by saying the pride of St. Cloud, Minnesota, and I say that with full confidence because you've talked about it so much. What one does being from Minnesota mean, and two, specific to your hometown?
Yeah, being from St. Cloud, it's not one of the most talked about cities, but it's definitely known. I take tremendous pride in it just because of its people. Incredibly diverse, and I think that's something I'm most proud of. There's so many people of all walks of life, and I wouldn't be the same person I am today without growing up there.
Yeah, how do you think the city itself shaped you growing up there?
Yeah, so I went to Catholic school growing up till 6th grade. Then I went to Sauk Rapids Middle School until going to St. Cloud Tech High School. But when I got to St. Cloud Tech High School, I really just got to be in St. Cloud more and just being around my friends who all lived on that side of town. And it's just always a blast. You go everywhere and you'll see someone you know, and that's what makes it a little nice community for you. And it's just a tremendous place. I love it.
As a high school basketball and football player, you had all the measurables, so you had opportunities to go to a number of high-ranking institutions. What swayed you to stay in your home state?
I think a big thing for me was just allowing my family to come and see me play every week. I have 3 little nephews that they come to every game that they can, and they definitely drive me to be a better person every day, not just a football player. And I want to show them every day that they can do whatever they want to do in their life and just continue to chase their dreams.
Do they, when they come to the games, I'm sure they're like, hey, that's, you said nephews or cousins?
Nephews.
So that's Uncle Brevyn there. And then they're like, holy cow, that's Tanner Morgan. My goodness, there's, Sezi Atomewo or whoever. I'm sure they love it, right?
Yeah, my brother actually told me a funny story the other day. So they've met Chris and Mo and all those guys. So my brother said they'll be watching the Vikings game, and let's say they'll see someone with dreads. They'll be like, "Is that Chris? Is that Chris?" Or they'll see a running back or something. They'll be like, "Is that Mo?
Yeah.
Is that Mo?" So just hearing stuff like that, and they always stop and see my family after the game. So it really means a lot to me.
Yeah. So they're catching on. They're getting to know a little bit. How old are they?
Yeah. So the oldest one's 9, and then the youngest 2 are 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. So we got to get them hooked hooked up with some 88 jerseys?
They're already on the way. They're already on the way.
Good, huh? What do you like to do for enjoyment, your leisures? You don't have studies, let's say. You got the homework done, no practice today. What would be an enjoyable day for Brevyn Spann-Ford?
Yeah, so right now, even like with bowl prep and stuff, and now that I'm done with class, I've really just been, whether I'm at the facility or something like that, if I'm at home, it's movies, just relaxing, being with my teammates. My roommate, Bryce Williams, and Kyler Bond, we hang out quite a bit. We'll play video games, watch movies. We've been watching the World Cup.
Yeah. Are you a soccer guy? You like soccer?
I haven't really watched the World Cup until this year. But I'm locked in. I'm locked in this year.
Great. Do you have do you watch series or movies or Netflix? You got anything?
I'll really watch anything.
Not much.
I'm a big Tarantino movies.
Oh yeah, yeah. What's your favorite one of those?
I would probably say Reservoir Dogs. That's a really good one. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's really good as well.
Gotcha.
I just like the aesthetic of those movies.
Yeah, well, a lot of people do. If we would thumb through your playlist on your phone, what would the top 3 or 4 artists, or who would they be? First off, this is incredibly influenced by Chris Bell. Just like always being around him. I've like somehow adapted all of his music. So, I give him full credit for putting me on. He's a real team leader, right?
Yeah. And he's also, we watch the movies together too and stuff like that. But Destroy Lonely is someone we listen to a lot. Playboy Cardi, Homicide Gang. There's too many to name. I listen to quite a bit of music, but I like alternative music too, which is like Tame Impala, stuff like that.
Mostly current stuff, or do you throw back ever?
I'll throw it back every once in a while.
Yeah. Like throwback for you would be who?
Throwback for me is like music from like the 2000s.
Yeah, but like what genre? More like R&B,
pop.
Yeah. See, like I doubt you're like, for me, throwback. I'm 52. Would be like, AC/DC or Motley Crue. I'm doubting that's showing up on your playlist.
No, actually, so my mother is really into that music. So
really?
That's really what I grew up on. And Playboy Cardi and stuff like that. They got that punk vibe to them.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that comes from that. So I think that's why I like it.
Yeah. There you go. So that's always, I'm always interested in terms of how you get to. What music you like and how you get there. So Ottman Bell is part of it, and then your mom's part of it, and then you just create a list that you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. You mentioned that you wanted to be, have an impact on the community, and I know that as you move forward, you got your nephews as well that you look at to help those guys, head in the right direction. Also with the idea of a role model, and you guys and your teammates, you go to the hospital a lot. What has that meant to you to kind of evolve? In fact, we had Chris on this podcast a month or two ago, and he talked about how his life kind of changed when he started to try to please other people, because when you do that, then you start, your own self-esteem builds a little bit.
Yeah. I give Coach Fleck full credit for this, because he really encourages us to go out in the community, go serve and give. And along with him, Mr. Norris Wilson, Coach Wilson, he does a great job.
He's the best.
He coordinates all these events for us and makes it easy for us to go out in the communities, because, sometimes it's kind of difficult. You guys from out of state, you don't really know where anything is when you get on campus necessarily. But that's one thing that we make sure that all the newcomers do, is go out in the community and serve and give. And it's a tremendous honor, actually, just going out and getting to view other perspectives, help where your help is needed. It really does change the type of person you are for the better.
Yeah, I got a kick. I guess it was probably last season. I interviewed Trill, and he talked about going into this elementary school almost every week and reading books to these kids. And here's this big 300-pound dude walks in, and they're all wide-eyed, and he sits down, and he said that's his favorite part. He sits down, and they all kind of come in and sit close to him, and he reads the book. Yeah,
it definitely changes your perspective, and it just kind of puts you in your shoes when you're a little kid. Yeah. And when someone would visit your classroom, it's like a movie star just walked in. So just making sure that you're always giving back is cool.
We've talked about this on our pregame radio interview a couple of times, your basketball background. How often do you play still, pick up games and such?
Not that much.
Not much as much as you used to.
It was we played a little bit during like the COVID times when we started getting back into things, but no, I don't play that much basketball anymore. I follow it though. I follow the NBA.
You're an NBA guy?
I watch the T-Wolves a lot.
Yeah, you like the you go to some of those games too. I know you guys went to the Lynx game too, right?
Yeah, I actually have this little feud with Tyler Nubin.
Yeah.
We went to the Bulls T-Wolves game last year, and we got some cheap seats.
Yeah.
We're up in the nosebleeds, but we're yelling at each other, stuff like that. It got a little ugly. But
can he play?
I've never seen Noob play, but he can play. He can ball.
You guys, I remember we talked about you guys would have some pickup games, and I think in fact, in the interview early in the year, we talked about who the best starting five would be. You got to remind me who that was.
I think it was me, Chris, Mike Brown, Braylon Oliver.
Yep.
And who was our fifth guy?
Was it Smith? Anthony Smith, maybe?
It wasn't Anthony yet.
No, because you hadn't played with him.
Yeah, he hadn't got here yet. Who was
he
it?
can play, I understand.
Yeah.
And Tanner was trying to lobby that he should be on, and you said no.
Tanner's not on the team.
Yeah.
I love Tanner to death. He's not on the team.
He's not on at least the starting five. Can he at least be a sixth man or a seventh man?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
But
We know that we're going to get his all when he gets out there.
So somebody's mad right now listening to this on your team, because I know all the players listen to this, right? That you're forgetting them, right? I'm trying to think who the fifth guy was myself.
I think it might have been Big O.
Big O.
But because it was a while ago, right?
Yeah. It was it was this fall, I think. It'll pop in our head here at some point. So, and while you think about that, I want to ask you a question about hoops. If football wasn't an option, you could have played college basketball, do you think?
I had one offer to North Dakota State.
North Dakota State to play hoops. Had you not been such a good football player, though, don't you figure some basketball programs said he's going to play football, so we're not going to recruit him?
I mean, I don't know. I would possibly. Yeah. I was talking to mid-major Division I schools. So I mean, if I didn't have an opportunity in football, I would have definitely played basketball somewhere.
And at a minimum, a Division I.
Yeah.
Like you weren't going to have to go play, in the MIAC. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you were a high enough level. And was it Oliver that you dunked on? You were saying you put him on a poster, or was it Mike Brown Stevens? I forget.
I didn't dunk on. I remember Flip Dixon dunked on me.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Sorry to bring that up.
I mean,
mention it. Maybe Flip was the.
I don't have any shame in getting dunked on by Flip because I was caught off guard.
That is what it was. I think Flip was the fifth guy. Maybe.
Yeah, it was either him or I might have honestly said Anthony Smith.
Yeah, it might have been. All right, so Flip throws one down on you.
Yeah,
he can get up.
Definitely.
Yeah. How was it? Just a
I was lazy going up for a defensive rebound. He went over the top of me. Everybody was You just got to laugh it off, man.
Yeah. Actually, now it's all coming back to me. I'm too old to remember right away. I think it was Mike Brown Stevens who was trying not to name names that told me about that.
Yeah,
and and he said he wasn't going to.
Huge respect for Michael for that.
He was not going to name names, and now I've forced you into.
I have no shame in it.
Here.
I have no shame in it. You guys have seen Flip Dixon. He's an athlete.
So did he talk some game to you after he threw it down?
Didn't say a word.
Just went back to play defense?
A word.
Is that right? That's pretty good.
Very
Where do you guys play?
Leonard,
Just here on campus when you get together?
So I used to live at the Marshall, and they have a little basketball court. We used to go up and down for a little bit. Yeah. All
right, just a couple more minutes here with Brevyn Spann-Ford on the Go Gopher podcast. What was it like to win the Axe again? In Madison, maybe your last go around against the Badgers, certainly your last go around in Madison to have a chance to win it. What was that experience like? Three times now for you.
Yeah, it was a great game. Our team played very well. Obviously, there's a lot of ups and downs in the game, but we made the plays we needed to win the game, and I was extremely proud of our team.
Did you get to?
No, I didn't top down any goalposts, but
no goalposts.
I was there for support.
Yeah. How about Lemecki's touchdown, and how about Ethan rifling that ball there?
I've still like weekly. I'll be like, Mecky, do you remember when you caught that touchdown against Wisconsin, bro? Like I'll literally just out of nowhere just remember, and I I remember watching him run down the seam, and I was like, wow, he is moving.
Yeah.
Like, he is moving. He's an athlete.
Well, so I'm calling the game, and I'm at practice, a couple times a week, and I have great respect for all you guys and how hard you work. And I know Lemecki has skills, but you can even hear in my play-by-play call as he's going down the center of the field, I don't know in all my time here, 17 years now, that I've ever gotten to that high pitch, because it just kept – if you go back and listen, it just kept surprising me, because 2 or 3 guys had angles on it, and he didn't care. He just and I did. I mean, and it's hard in practice sometimes, especially in the season, because you guys are just it's a game plan situation, different things. But that burst was amazing.
Yeah, man, pride of South Georgia.
Yeah, right.
Him and Bate.
He was just, we got a few Georgians on the team, right? Going back to, you mentioned Rodney and Shannon.
Yep. Trill.
Bate, Trill, Flip, right?
Yep,
Just
Flip.
from there. We're going to miss him.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't talk him into sticking around?
Man, I wish I could.
Yeah, good player, man.
I wish nothing but the best.
Yeah, of course. Sometimes decisions got to be made, but even Braylon, he's a Georgia guy too, right? Yeah, so the team has done that. But man, that play, back to that play, Lemecki just taking off. What were you on the field?
Yeah.
So because we had Ethan on a couple weeks ago, and he said technically the pre-snap read probably should have been a handoff.
Yeah.
And he said he looked up, he goes, I just saw a lot of green, and I'm like, I'm going to throw it.
Yeah.
So what were you thinking as the play unfolded?
Yeah, so it was just our basic RPO scheme. So I got the DN on that look, and it was Herbig, which he's a great player, All-American dude, great guy as well. So I really just I saw the RPO tag, so I knew that there's a chance he's throwing it, chance he's handing it off. So just blocked my guy, and then I poked my head up because I saw Mecki going across the field, and I just saw him catch it and just boom right up the middle of the field. Now I could believe it, but I couldn't believe it because we've been seeing how good Mecki is since the day he got here. He's a freak athlete, and then he's also a great dude off the field. He's so funny.
And how about Ethan's throw?
Yeah, it was.
He's got an arm, doesn't
on
he?
the money. Yeah, he made a lot of great throws that game, and he's a talented player.
Did you guys as pass catchers have to adjust a little to maybe the ball getting on you a little quicker? I mean, we love Tanner, but and he's putting the ball in the right spot so many times over his career. But Ethan has some pop, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a little bit of adjustment, but not nothing too much.
Yeah.
Not all catching alternate.
Right. Last one on that play, you probably didn't know what was happening at the time, but when you go back and watch it, Mo has to put his nose right on some blitzing linebacker.
Yeah.
If he doesn't make the play there, it's probably a sack, and the quarterback's in trouble for not handing it off. But he makes the play, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of times where the backs have saved us on saving the day on a blitzing linebacker, and they'll do it over and over. They'll do anything for this team. So extremely thankful for those guys.
No question. You guys get a win in a bowl game this year. It's another 9-win season. And I know you guys probably don't think about it. You just want to go win a game, right? You're a competitor. But at some point, you're going to be able to look back. And I do think you win a bowl game and you get 9 wins. That is a difference maker when you look back a few years from now.
Yeah, definitely. Growing up, I didn't see a lot of 9-win seasons from us. Unfortunately, saw a lot of great players, great people, and great coaches, but there just wasn't a lot of 9-win seasons around here. So it's an incredible honor to be a part of that.
All right, well, very good. We appreciate you hanging out with us. It was fun to get to know you a little better, even though we've been here and we feel we know you pretty well. But good to get some insight. And I know we'll be waiting here in the next little while to get the official word on what your future is, and whatever it is, man, best of luck.
Thank you so much for having me.
And there he is, Brevyn Spann-Ford. It's the Go Gopher Podcast, episode number 49.
My thanks once again to Golden Gopher tight end Brevyn Spann-Ford. I hope you enjoyed listening to that conversation as much as I enjoyed being a part of it. The Go Gopher Podcast is presented by Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. If you're buying or selling a business, visit sunbeltminnesota.com or tnma.com. We're proud to be supported by Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union, your local credit union throughout the state of Minnesota. Go to affinityplus.org/GoGophers. Affinity Plus, sponsor sponsors our player profile supporting Gopher student athletes. We're also brought to you by State Farm agent Tony Hoagland. Again, I'd invite you to listen to past podcasts, and please right now click the subscribe button to the Go Gopher podcast. It's free to do so at any time. And share the link on your social media channels. We'll talk again next week.